Pisces, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Pisces Tarot love reading. In this Pisces reading today, we are going to take a look at your romantic person of interest and how they really feel about you here in December 2024. We got the Empress popping out here. We're also going to take a look at what this person is thinking about you, what their intentions are toward you, and then what their most likely actions are going to be toward you as we move through the rest of December 2024. Then I'm going to get you some advice from the universe on how to navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person, kind of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should play it so things work out in the way that's best for you. So let's get started with this Pisces love reading. Let's get 3 cards for how does Pisces romantic person of interest really feel about Pisces December 2024. Okay. Apparently, someone's in a hurry to talk to you. Underlying their feelings, we got some Pisces energy, 8 of Cups. This is emotionally detaching or sometimes even physically detaching and walking away. A lot of times this will be somebody who thinks the grass might be greener on the other side of the fence and they got to go find out if it is or not. What they usually find out is no, it's not greener on the other side of the fence. Grass is greener where you water it and nurture it and pour something of yourself into it. So they usually find out it's not all it was cracked up to be, and then at some point they try to come back. I got 6 of Pentacles right below that. This is Taurus energy. This is supposed to be balance. It can be trying to balance something back out, coming back to balance it out. This would be like equal give and take. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. We take care of each other kind of a thing. It can also sometimes represent the merchant here, giving to 2 different people in the physical sense. And notice one's kind of like tucked away behind his back here. And then I have the Queen of Swords. This is Libra energy. This is about speaking the truth on something and then cutting off the thing or the person who's no longer in your best interest anymore. I don't know if this is how they're perceiving you or if they got themselves cut off when they went to go somewhere else to see if the grass was greener. But this is like the I don't take any BS type of an energy right here. So this usually represents the severing of a connection or cutting someone out of your life. When I take a look at what actually came out in their feelings for you, Pisces, we got the Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Knight of Wands is an action taker. This is the second fastest knight in the deck. It's rushing forward, taking a rapid, passionate action on something there's passion and desire for. Sometimes this gets called the player of the tarot deck. So it can be that person who comes rushing in all passionately and tells you everything you want to hear so they can get what they want. But then they rush off somewhere else all passionately and tell that person everything they want to hear to get what they want there. And they come back and forth between 2 people playing both sides of the fence. I did say this was somebody walking away to see if the grass might be greener on the other side of the fence. And when they find out it's not, they will try to come back, which is kind of fitting right along with this type of an energy. But then again, if we got somebody given to 2 different people here, that also fits along with that kind of an energy. This is not always a player. Sometimes this is a person who starts off really gung-ho, really driven and motivated about something. They want something really bad and they're saying all the right stuff and they're taking all the right actions, but then something changes and then they pull back and go a different way. So this can be like a non-committal kind of an energy. In other words, somebody who can't stay fully committed to what they say they want and they flip-flop back and forth. Could fit right along with what I'm seeing here. I got Page of Pentacles central to their feelings toward you. One thing I am noticing already, I'm looking at their feelings and I don't have a single cup out here. This Page of Pentacles would be news and messages and communications about some physical, tangible opportunity presenting itself. This is also a lot of times a person who has this early stage plan for their future where it's not a fully developed plan yet. Wheel of Fortune. This is a change in the luck and fortune. If things were going great, this would be that pivotal moment where everything took a left turn into the telephone pole and stuff went to hell in a handbasket. If things have been going bad, this would represent trying to turn the wheel the other way, try to correct course, try to put this back on track and get it going in a positive way again. I don't know how I feel about this. That seems like a piece of their early stage, not fully developed plan for the future here, trying to turn something around. Probably because it didn't work out the way they thought it was going to. Let's take a look at what they're thinking about you, Pisces. What is this person thinking about Pisces here in December 2024, please? Come here. Where'd you go? I know I saw you flip over. Where is it? There. Oh, my. Underlying, they're thinking about you. The Hermit. This is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is a card of withdrawal, isolation. This usually means communication has shut down. If it's not completely shut down, it's vastly different than it used to be. It's not always even about communication shutting down, but I do get this card a lot when someone will ghost you and just kind of like abruptly disappear, and they don't tell you what's going on. They don't give you any kind of closure. This is supposed to be about going inside themselves to do soul searching and deep inner reflection and deep contemplation. This is about like looking inside myself, looking through my own shadow, examining all those shadow elements of myself, trying to find out what is it about me that I need to make some adjustments to so that things can move forward the way I want them to. Nah, I'm not sure if that's what we got going on. It's possible. The important thing about this energy is it's usually not something that a person voluntarily chooses to do. We don't choose to go into hermit mode. Something usually happens and it kind of forces us into that, which I see a couple of things out here that could. Yeah, they might be doing some soul searching. I got Temperance right under that Sagittarius Major Arcana energy. So I'm getting a Major Arcana in the first row, another one in the second row, two back to back right here. This would be patience. This would be not being in a big hurry. It's like trying to blend these two things together, but doing it little bits at a time and being willing to like make some adjustments along the way, fine-tuning things to get it so it's just right. It can also represent reconciliation. In tarot, water represents love, and here the love has been separated into two different cups, and this angel is trying to recombine that back together, like put it all back together. So it can be reconciliation in that sense. I get this card a lot when something is severely out of balance, and this is like a recalibration kind of an energy. It's trying to like even things back out, balance it back out. Yeah, that could be what's out of balance. I got the King of Wands right below that. This is either Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows what they want. They go after what they want. They usually don't take no for an answer. They don't let obstacles and roadblocks stop them. This is kind of like I'm going to find a way to get what I want, or I'm going to make a way to get what I want kind of an energy. It's also the pinnacle of the wand suit. It's a little bit higher up the totem pole than this Knight of Wands here. The wand is the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents the male you-know-what, using it to do you-know-what, sexual energy and all that fun stuff. And this is the top level of that suit. So this is not just a driven, motivated, determined person. It's someone who's also driven and motivated by passion and desire and sexual energy. Man, that's probably something that's a little out of whack for them. And hopefully this is them looking inside themselves and trying to make some adjustments to that. Hopefully that's what this is. What came out in their thinking? 10 of Swords, the Tower, 6 of Wands. 10 of Swords is Gemini energy. 10s are completions. This is a swift, painful ending to something. Sometimes it's an ending you don't see coming. Hence the swords in their back. Sometimes it's an ending in betrayal. Hence the swords in the back getting stabbed in the back. It's right here tied together with this player energy or this wishy-washy in and out, back and forth kind of an energy. Tower is next. This is a foundation rocking event. It's the collapse of some important structure in this person's life. Usually that structure is the relationship, probably being dead and over with. Like I said about the Hermit, if something forces a person into hermit mode, either of these two cards are primary culprits in doing that, forcing someone into soul searching. This is usually the collapse of the relationship. Sometimes it's the collapse of a belief system, like this mental model of the world this person was operating from, where they believed things were going to be a certain way, and then something happened to shatter that belief and it all came crashing down. And when that happens, it's really hard to see the path moving forward from here. That's tied directly to this early stage, not fully developed plan for their future. I think they probably ran off all gung-ho down a new path towards someone else, and then something shifted there and changed, and the way they believed it was going to be probably ended up not being the way it was going to be, and I think that connection probably came to an end. And then we have Six of Wands, Leo energy of recognition. Sometimes this is them getting recognized for something, as in getting recognized for being a player or being, not fully committed to something. Sometimes this is them recognizing something about themselves when they're in here doing the soul searching and figuring out what is it that I need to make some adjustments to and recalibrate about myself. Sometimes this is like a person recognizing how much you meant to them after things had already collapsed and after everything had changed, and maybe now they're recognizing they need to turn this around with you and try to get back. That's what it's feeling like right from that Eight of Cups. Like somebody walked away and found out it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, and now they're trying to come back. What are this person's intentions toward Pisces here as we move through December 2024? Extra card. Okay. Yeah, you don't say. Underlying their intentions toward you, the Chariot. This is a Cancer Major Arcana card. This is the fastest moving energy in the deck. It's faster than this Knight of Wands. It's faster than the Eight of Wands, faster than the Knight of Swords. This, at its core, is about using the will to overcome obstacles and problems and challenges and trying to get past all that stuff just through sheer willpower alone and moving forward very quickly in success and victory. This is kind of like a minor arcana version of this. Like if you can combine that with the Eight of Wands, you're getting semi-close to what the Chariot's about. Both of these are about moving forward successfully. There is an issue of alignment being kind of funky here. We got the Black Sphinx and the White Sphinx. That represents the dark side, the shadow side of a person, all that stuff you would be looking at when you go into hermit mode. This represents the light side of a person, and the driver has no reins to control this thing. He uses sheer willpower alone. So if the driver is not in full alignment, if both sides of himself aren't pulling in the same direction, this thing's every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man, and it won't go anywhere. Worse yet, the dark side can pull this way, the light side can pull that way, and it will rip itself in half as it moves forward. We got this underlying will to overcome obstacles, but underneath that, we got the Nine of Swords, Gemini energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. This is thinking about something a lot with all this fear and worry behind their thinking and doing that to the point that it becomes stressful. It's like manifesting as physical stress for them. Notice the person has their eyes covered because in their mind, this situation is so bad that they don't want to look at it. They don't want to face it. If they did, like they're trapped in this darkness here, and if they did have the courage to face this for a minute, they'd realize that there's a ladder right here behind them and they could climb up out of this darkness. Just not 100% sure how much they recognize about themselves. I usually get this when somebody's fearful and worried that they're not going to be able to overcome what's in the way here. I get this a lot when somebody has done something that they know they shouldn't have done, and they're fearful and worried that it's going to come out. What's right behind that Nine of Swords is the Seven of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. This is lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around behind your back, trying to get away with something that they shouldn't have been trying to get away with. Now, that's not the only meaning to the card. He's stealing 5 swords, and the Five of Swords represents a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. It also represents a betrayal, but this person is stealing these swords because they don't want the swords to be used against them. They don't want to be hurt. So it can be self-preservation in that sense, like trying to not get hurt. Also, they can't carry all 7 swords. They can only carry 5, so they leave these 2 swords behind. So it can represent leaving something behind. Not necessarily feeling that, except for the fact that they already did that when they walked away from you and they tried to move forward. And I don't think things worked out right, and now they're wanting to come back, but they're worried about the sneaky, deceptive crap that they did. They're probably worried about getting hurt, too. What actually came out in their intentions: 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, Page of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. 2s are choices. This would be a choice between these 2 physical things, and I can't have both of them at the same time. So it's like weighing my options, looking at the pros and cons. Do I want this one or that one? It's an energy of balance, but it's more about like trying to maintain their balance or trying to get their balance back after they've lost it. It's a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of an energy. That all the waves in the background represent rough, choppy emotions, being off balance in this. I get this a lot when someone can't make up their mind, and on Monday they want this person, and on Wednesday they've changed their mind and they want this person, and they keep flip-flopping back and forth, kind of like I was feeling with this Knight of Wands energy. I can't stay fully committed to what I say I want. Is this over? Is this not over? Should I go here or should I go there? Do I want you? Do I want the other person? Will they take me back? Won't they take me back? It's that kind of a thing going on here. Next, I have 5 of Wands, which is Leo energy. 5s are conflict. Wands are about desires, so this is a conflict in their desires, an internal conflict where a piece of them wants this one thing and another piece of them wants pretty much the opposite of that, and now I'm torn between these 2 things, and I can't have both of them at the same time, and now I'm playing this internal battle of tug of war inside what it is that I desire. Just about every card I could get that would tell me there's some misalignment, there's some I got the misalignment here. Dark side versus light side. If the driver's not in alignment, this thing ain't going anywhere. I got the flip-flopping back and forth. Can't stay committed to what I want. I can't make my mind up. Do I want this one or do I want that one? I'm playing internal tug of war with myself because I'm pulling myself in different directions at the same time. Right in the center of this mess is the Tower and this not fully thought out plan for the future, not fully developed plan for the future. Next in their intentions, Page of Cups. This is news, messages, and communications about love and emotions. Lovey-dovey messages, expressing feelings, flirtatious behavior. This can represent trying to communicate with you about, I recognize that I love you now and I want to turn this around, and this can represent an apology. And it could be that they want to communicate and they're intending to communicate that kind of stuff with you, but they're maybe torn and conflicted about whether or not you're going to put up with their crap or not. Because remember, when I looked at their feelings, 3 cards deep in the underlying energy was that Queen of Swords. She's the off with your head queen. She's the queen that already knows the truth. And she cuts away the things that don't mesh with her anymore. Final card in their intentions, 9 of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is a single energy. It's a step backwards from the 10 of Pentacles, which is a combined together life, building a life together. I'll get the 10 of Pentacles when people live together, or they're married, or they're kind of going down the path toward combining their life together, building a life together. This would be physically independent, physically by myself, stable and abundant in my own right. I don't need someone to physically or financially take care of me. I can do that on my own. I don't always get this card when someone wants to be single. It doesn't mean necessarily that they want to be single. Probably more likely that they are single physically, as in the 2 of you aren't together right now. Hell, I don't even always get this card when a person is single. Sometimes I'll get this card when a person isn't single, but they're presenting themselves in the physical world as if they're single when they're not. Excuse me. This is looking like they're trying to come back to you and they're torn about whether or not you're going to take them back. And this is looking like trying to present themselves as if they're single or self-sufficient, or that they don't actually need you, even though I don't really buy that. I don't really think that this person needs you per se as much as they need to get a handle on their own internal BS. And until they do that, it doesn't really matter who they're with. It's just going to end up being a repeating cycle of the same crap over and over again. Because I got diagonally this way, I got the repeating cycle of the Wheel of Fortune and the collapse of everything important to them, and this off balance, can't make up my mind kind of an energy. Excuse me. And here's part of their problem too, because what the tower in the middle, what causes the tower is the wishy-washy in and out, back and forth player type crap, and all the communications and lovey-dovey flirty messages, and not being this is the page. It's the lowest of the court cards. So it's not a king that's out here. I don't have a king out here on the board at all. This would be a not fully developed, not fully mature emotional energy, like emotionally immature, not fully developed in that sense, not fully developed in the physical sense. And like, this is really a card of abundance, and I don't really buy that. This is feeling much more like, this can be a deceptive kind of an energy too sometimes. It can be like the fish in the cup can represent sleight of hand. In other words, I don't want you to look me in the eyes, because then you'll see into my soul and figure me out. So I'm going to get you to look over here at this fish and distract you so you don't really see what's going on. So you can't recognize what I'm up to. Because I'm trying to turn stuff around, but am I trying to turn it around for the right reason? Like, the only cup that I have out here, like, okay, I would accept this if somebody made a mistake. We all are human. We all make mistakes. Hell, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. If someone's trying to turn something around with you because they recognize that they love you and that they want you in their life, and they're trying to make things right, okay, that's one thing. But I don't see anything that tells me that out here. I see this as like sleight of hand. I'm recognizing that everything sucks where I'm at, and yeah, I want to turn this around, but why? Like, I'm internally conflicted still. I still got player energy out here, and still got like the potential to act single if I'm not. And even this whole idea of being stable and abundant, I don't really necessarily buy that. This person's intentions are all over the place. Like, it doesn't, like, I don't even think they're clear on what it is that they're intending to do, especially with these two cards showing up first. I don't think they're clear at all, other than they're not fully developed and they're just trying to talk. What are they most likely to do as it relates to Pisces as we move through the rest of December 2024 and beyond, please? Yeah, you just saw me turn that right side up. I don't read reversals, so when they come out upside down, I just automatically turn them right side up. Normally, I don't notice it unless I get screamed at or I feel like that jolt that I'm supposed to not do that, but I don't feel that there. Underlying what they're most likely to do, King of Wands. Again, bold, passionate, fiery, determined, Leo, Sagittarius energy. I know what I want. I'm going to get what I want one way or another. I'm going to find a way to get what I want. Also very driven, motivated, determined, driven and motivated by passion, desire, sexual energy. Aimed at Pisces. The Hanged Man is here. And the first card that came out is another card that's sometimes referred to as a Pisces card. And I got the Queen of Cups out here, which can be a Pisces type energy. This person is stuck and hung up on what it is that they want. They're stuck probably on their own wand. Oh man, progress being halted, no forward movement happening. It's also about like trying to look at things from a different point of view than they normally would, a different perspective than they normally would. The Hanged Man's hanging upside down because he's trying to gain enlightenment on something. He's trying to figure out what has me stuck, the wand, and how do I get unstuck? Like, how can I move forward from here? The problem with this, like I saw the Hermit before. The Hermit and the Hanged Man are really similar energies because at their core, they're both about trying to figure out what to do moving forward. The real difference is in where their focus is placed. The Hermit is looking inside of himself for what about me do I make adjustments to? I don't see that person doing this here. This is looking at things from a different perspective, looking externally to myself. What out here has me stuck? Not what in here has me stuck. And it's very rare in life that we have this external problem that shows up when we didn't first create that problem internally, and then it manifests itself in the external world. Like, just look at somebody who has like a messy house or a messy room, or, everything's all in disarray. That's usually a pretty good sign when their external world is in disarray. That means their internal world is in disarray. And this person is heavily focused on passion and desire and has themselves stuck in that. Four of Swords is also here, Libra energy. This is taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break. It's like the minor arcana version of the Fool, or the Hermit, but notice it's behind the Hanged Man here. And this is like, sometimes people will break up and they don't want to label it as an official breakup, and they don't want to call it completely over. So they'll just say things like, well, we were on a break. This is also a 4. So 4s are about stability, and swords are about the thoughts or the mind. So stabilizing the thoughts, stabilizing the mind, trying to calm their mind down. I did see the 9 of Swords earlier. This is less than half that energy. The 9 of Swords, there's like a whole mess of chatter going on inside someone's head, and it's not positive at all. And this would be like trying to calm that down. They need to realize that they're stuck because of what's inside of them, not what's outside of them. I think they're too heavily focused on things that walk by. Like, this sometimes can be like the blame game. It's not my fault this happened, it's your fault. Or it's not my fault this hot chick walked by me, and if she wouldn't have looked all hot, I wouldn't have did what I did. It's like helpless victim feeling. When I look at what they're most likely to do, I don't like this. The Moon, 4 of Wands, Queen of Cups. The Moon is also fear, worry, and anxiety, but usually from uncertainty. This would mean like I can't see the full path in front of me. I don't see how this is going to work. I'm off balance here. There's been an ending and I'm trying to come back, and I don't know if you're going to accept me or not. And that level of uncertainty can cause fear, worry, and anxiety. The Moon can also represent something being hidden in the dark or a secret being kept. It's tied directly to the 2 of Pentacles. So yeah, that could be the uncertainty of, will you take me back or not? It could also be the thing I was hiding in the dark was the fact that I was juggling 2 people. I was being a player, and that's why everything ended. That's why there's swords in your back, because there was a betrayal here. 4 of Wands is Aries energy. This is, again, stability, but stability of the home and the family and the connection between the 2 of you. The 4 Wands represent 1111, which is the number of manifesting. In the story of manifesting, in the Wand suit, it's the 2, 3, and 4 of Wands. So in the 2 of Wands, you're deciding what it is you want for your life. And in the 3 of Wands, you've already made the decision and taken some actions, and you're waiting on it to actually materialize. And here, this is the celebration of the thing I want manifesting in physical reality, becoming stable in physical reality. But I've got the 5 of Wands attached to it. So we're going backwards in the Wand energy here. There's some uncertainty and fear, worry, and anxiety about the stability of the connection with you. Queen of Cups. This is Cancer energy. It's pretty common that I get this for you, Pisces, when I'm doing a Pisces reading. This would be the person that they get love and emotions from. But notice there's a lid on her cup. She's the only character in the deck that has a lid on her cup, and she does that as a way to protect her emotions from getting contaminated. She doesn't want to get emotionally messed up, so she's guarded. She's covering her cup. She really wants to take the lid off the cup and pour her love into someone, but like I said, she's guarded, she's hesitant. She's supposed to be matched up with the King of Cups because they build the 10 of Cups. Instead here, in this situation, she'd be matching up with the lowly little page. Like, Not the man, the boy. And there's this energy of recognition about that. And there's also this repeating cycle. This, again, is, yes, it is them trying to turn this situation around, but it is also a repeating cycle of the same thing you've already dealt with here. The only thing that has nothing to go with it in the column is this single energy. So take that however that resonates for you. Feels almost like advice, but it also at the same time feels like this person is going to continue right on presenting themselves as if they're single when they're not. And they're probably going to continue right on being all lovey-dovey and flirty with other people and staying conflicted. That's their energy, Pisces. Let's take a look at your advice. What should you do? What should you not do? How should you navigate this so it works out in the way that's best for you and your own greatest good? Let's get 5 cards for the advice for Pisces, please. Just had the sun flip over and show itself. Go right back in the deck and not come out. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. And it didn't come out, but the happiness is present there. The sun also has all the gravity, which is why the planets are in orbit around the sun. This person probably has an element of happiness tied to them for you, and probably has an element of gravity that kind of pulls you in a little bit. But that card didn't come out, which usually doesn't mean that it's not present. It showed itself to me. It's present. It just, there's resistance to it, or there's something off with it. Let's get one more. Another thing the sun can mean is it's the card that comes immediately after the moon. So when something's hidden in the dark, the next step is the sun comes up and now it's not dark anymore, and all that stuff that was being hidden in the dark gets exposed and illuminated and I can see it. That could be why it didn't come out too, because there might still be stuff that they do still have hidden and you don't know all the way yet. Underlying your advice, Ace of Pentacles. This is a new physical opportunity presenting itself to you. It's the seed of abundance. This is something that has the potential to turn into the 10 of Pentacles, but it's not the 10 of Pentacles in and of itself. It's got the potential. It's an ace. You have to grab this and do something with this opportunity. You got to put in the work, the time, effort, and energy on it. Otherwise, it's just empty potential. I'm not sure what that's a reference to for you. Judgment is right behind it. Passing a final verdict in judgment. In a relationship reading, this is usually A, we're calling this dead and over with and there is no coming back from it. Or B, this is an energy of resurrection, like trying to call something back from the grave, bring it back to life, but transform it in a way that it's never going to be the same again. I think this person is presenting you with an opportunity to resurrect it, but at the same time, you also have the opportunity to pass judgment on this and be done with it. This is also a card of ascension, kind of going to the next level. The next card after this is the World, which is the completion card, the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. They're trying to present you with an opportunity to resurrect this connection. I got the Ace of Wands now. That's the passion, desire end of things here. This is a passionate new beginning, or trying to re-spark a connection, trying to fire it back up and bring the passion and the desire back. It's also an opportunity. I got 2 opportunities here. This Ace of Wands is also the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents the male you-know-what and using it to do you-know-what and all that fun stuff. And then I got 10 of Wands right behind it. That's part of their problem. I saw that when we looked here. The thing that keeps them stuck from making progress is this being the King of Wands, being too driven and motivated by their wand. The very first card out in their energy, the Knight of Wands. This is when this wand stands up and points at something. This is the dude that has to go rushing off after what it's pointing at and do something about it. And there's probably half-cocked plans related to that, no pun intended, and then there's probably a repeating cycle of that type of behavior here. And they're presenting you with what they're trying to make it sound like an opportunity. But in reality, it looks like it's just a burden that weighs you down and holds you back. It's a 10, and 10s are completion. So this is supposed to be the completion of you carrying this heavy burden. In other words, you're at the spot where you can lay this burden down and move on without it. When I look at your actual advice, we got an extra card. I got Justice, Death, Ace of Swords. Like, I don't know how much more clear we can be there. 3 of Pentacles, King of Swords, 2 of Cups. Don't know how much more clear we can be. Justice is the Libra Major Arcana card. It's the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. This is about cutting away something that's not fair or not just or not in balance. It's like cutting that away so balance can be restored, and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. In a standard Rider-Waite tarot deck like this person is holding a sword, and that sword is the Ace of Swords that's right here. And it's used to cut something away to restore balance. This card shows up when something unfair or unjust or severely out of balance is happening, and this is pointing out the need to correct it. I think it's tied to this opportunity, and I think the way you correct it is you pass judgment on it. You pass judgment on the wand and this idea of resparking it, and you lay the burden down and move on without it. Yeah, I got 5 of Pentacles right under that. Abandonment, being cast aside, being left out in the cold, discarded. This is a breakup energy. Really feeling like that's what it's telling you so far. Next in your advice, we got Death. This is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. This is an ending to something. It's something dying so it can be reborn again in a better way. It's an ending that has a painful transformation process attached to it, or a painful transition period following the ending. I get this card a lot when something new is trying to come into a person's life and it doesn't have room to fit because the place it belongs in your life is already occupied by something else, and that something else is dead already. You just haven't let it fall away yet. You haven't released it yet to make room for the new thing. I got the Ace of Pentacles right here. A new physical opportunity presenting itself. It might be that you have to pass judgment on this and call it dead and over with, and do the right thing to bring balance back so that you can get this opportunity. Ace of Swords, the sword you use to cut something out of your life, to sever a connection, to remove something that's not in balance so balance gets restored. This is the sword of truth. It's the sword you make decisions with. 3 of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy of teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. I think that's some truth that you might want to take a look at. When you were with this person, was it really working together as equals? Were you really working together to build something of value? Or were they off doing something different, working their own plan and keeping secrets from you? Man. Last card that came out in your advice, King of Swords, 2 of Cups. King of Swords is the pinnacle of this sword suit. This is a very smart, logical, rational decision maker. It is a person who, when they make their decisions, they're emotionally detached. They throw their emotions out the window. They're not concerned with how I feel or how you feel or how anybody feels. I'm looking at the truth. I'm looking at the facts. I'm looking at what's right in front of me that I can see and verify. And I'm going to make my decisions based on that. And it's tied to this 2 of Cups. And I don't think that was by accident, because the 2 of Cups is a love connection between two people. So I breathe you in, you breathe me in, we're connected, but it's a 2. And in tarot, 2s are choices. I got a 2 out here in their energy right beside this. Like, that could be juggling 2 people right beside this internally conflicted stuff. Secret. ending in betrayal, player. I think you have a connection that you still feel with this person. And I think that's why death is showing up, because you got this new thing trying to come in for you. And it can't fit until you release, until you cut this away, until you get balance back by removing this person that is a burden here. Like 10 of Wands is right here. It's saying break up, discard them, leave them behind. And I think this emotional connection that you feel, it's a choice about this connection. It could even be a choice about this cup and another cup. Could be a new person is trying to come in, and this is encouraging you to not let your emotions get in the way. Doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is the truth and the facts. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Pisces love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.